Today I have 5 homebrew subclasses for your D&D game. Barbarian, Path of the Elemental Chaos. Due to some connection with the elemental planes, when you rage, you release the chaos and wrath of the planes upon your enemies. Level 3, Elemental Infusion. When you choose this path at 3rd level, your rage manifests through raw energy of one of the 4 elemental planes. Choose one element when you enter your rage. Each element grants you a unique benefit while raging. Air, Storm's Ascent. Your movement increases by 10 feet, and when you make a melee weapon attack, you can move 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks afterwards. Earth, Stonehide. You gain temporary hit points equal to your barbarian level when you enter your rage, and your AC increases by your rage damage while not wearing armor. Fire, Blazing Wrath. The first creature you hit on each of your turns takes fire damage equal to your rage damage. Once per turn, when you take damage from a melee weapon, the attacker takes fire damage equal to your rage damage. Water, Flowing Form. You can move through difficult terrain caused by liquids or ice without penalty. Once per turn, when you're hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d8 plus your Constitution modifier. Elemental Eruption. You release the full fury of your chosen element as a bonus action while raging. You can unleash an eruption centered on yourself. Creatures of your choice within 10 feet must make a dexterity saving throw. DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your Constitution modifier. On a failed save, they suffer an effect based on your current element. Air, blasted back 10 feet and take 2d8 lightning damage. Earth, take 2d8 thunder damage and are not prone. Fire, take 2d8 fire damage and flammable objects are in the area ignite. Water, take 2d8 cold damage and their speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier minimum once, regaining all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Level 10, Primal Element. Your connection to the planes strengthens, granting you ongoing resilience. You gain resistance to one type of damage based on your chosen element while raging. Air, lightning, earth, thunder, fire, water, cold. Additionally, when you roll initiative, you can immediately sense nearby planar disturbances. You know if there are any extraplanar creatures or portals within 60 feet. Level 14, Avatar of Chaos. You become a walking storm of creation, a living embodiment of the elemental planes. When you enter your rage, you can choose to channel all 4 elements at once for the duration of that rage. You will gain resistance to fire, cold, lightning, and thunder damage, and at the start of each of your turns, you can use one of the following effects. Crackling Thunder. Each creature within 10 feet takes 1d8 lightning damage. Shifting Stone. You get temporary hit points equal to your Constitution modifier. Flame Burst. The next melee weapon attack you hit deals an extra 2d8 fire damage. Tidal Surge. You move up 10 feet following through enemy spaces without provoking opportunity attacks. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. This subclass is great for having the fun, chaotic nature of the elements added into your character, as it can also work well with different backstories. Look, a Primordial Titan. You have made a pact with the Primordial Titan, an entity who formed the very planet you lived on and battled with the gods. Expanded Spell List. The Primordial Titan lets you choose from an expanded list of spells when you learn a Warlock spell. This spell reflects the raw, elemental, and cosmic power of your patron. First level, absorb elements of Thunderwave. Second level, Azengar's Scorcher and Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. Third level, Erupting Earth Protection from Energy. Fourth level, Elemental Bane and Stone Skin. Fifth, Maelstrom and Destructive Wave. Third level, Titan's Blessing. When you form your pact, your patron infuses you with a shard of its colossal essence, gaining the following benefits. You learn Primordial. When you cast a Warlock spell that deals acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, you can add your Charisma modifier to 1 damage roll of that spell. As an action, you can use your body to resonate your patron's might for 1 minute. You gain the following benefits. You count as 1 size larger for the purpose of carrying, pushing, or grappling. You can use Charisma instead of Strength for strength checks and saving throws. You can use this feature once per long rest, but then at 10th level, you can use it twice per long rest. 6th level, Titanic Resilience. The Titan's hide protects you from harm. You gain one of the following resistances: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Additionally, when you are hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to harden your form in a burst of primal energy, reducing the damage by 1d10 plus your warlock level plus your charisma modifier. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per short or long rest. 10th level, Voice of the Colossus. You channel your patron's immense presence and power. You gain advantage on intimidation checks, and your voice can boom up to 300 feet when you choose. As an action, you unleash a primal command, a word of power infused with elemental authority. Choose one of the following effects: Earthen's Grasp. Each creature of your choice within 20 feet must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained as the ground seizes them for 1 minute, taking saves at the end of each of their turns. Storm's Wrath. Each creature of your choice in a 20-foot radius must make a dexterity saving throw, taking 4d10 lightning damage on a failed save, half as much on success. Inferno's Roar. Each creature of your choice within 30 feet that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. 14th level, Avatar of the Primordial. You briefly embody your patron's titanic nature. As an action, you transform for 1 minute, gaining the following benefits. You become large, and your melee attacks deal an additional 1d10 force damage. You get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons. And you get immunity to your chosen element type from Titanic Resilience. At the start of each of your turns, creatures of your choice within 10 feet take 1d8 damage of your chosen element: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. When your transformation ends, you can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. Paladin, Oath of the Veil. You have made an oath to protect the balance between life and death, preventing the abuse of souls. 3rd level, Oath Spells. At 3rd level, you gain Gentle Repose and Inflict Wounds. At 5th level, you gain See Invisibility and Warding Bond. At 9th level, you gain Speak with Dead and Spirit Guardians. At 13th level, you gain Death Ward and Banishment. At 17th level, you get Anti-Life Shell and Raise Dead. Level 3, Silence of the Dead. Veil of the Silence. As an action, you can spend a Channel Divinity to invoke the stillness of the grave. A 20-foot radius sphere centered on you is shrouded in a supernatural quiet for 1 minute. All sound is muted within the area. Creatures within the radius are immune to thunder damage and are able to cast spells with vocal components. Aura of Passing, 7th level. You exude an aura of calm finality. Hostile creatures that start their turn within 10 feet of you have disadvantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. Additionally, any dying creature within your aura automatically stabilizes at the start of your turn. Ethereal Step, 15th level. The veil parts for you. As a bonus action, you can become partially ethereal for 1 round. You can move through objects and creatures as if they were difficult terrain, taking 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside one. Attacks against you have disadvantage, and you resist all damage except force and radiant. Your weapon attacks deal an extra 1d8 necrotic. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, regaining all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Avatar of the Veil, 20th level. You become the embodiment of the quiet between heartbeats, the stillness before end. As an action, you can assume your avatar form for 1 minute. While in this form, you gain resistance to all damage. You can move through creatures and objects as though they were incorporeal. Your weapon attacks deal an extra 2d10 necrotic damage, or radiant, your choice. When a creature you reduce to 0 hit points dies within 10 feet of you, you can choose to gently release their soul, preventing undeath and resurrection. If you do, you and 1 ally of your choice regain hit points equal to your charisma modifier plus half your paladin level. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Cleric, Domain of Fate. This subclass is great for a mysterious character. This could work well in a party full of heroes as they would work together for the same goals. Domain spells. At 3rd level, you gain Augury, Hold Person, Hex. At 5th level, you get Bestow Curse and Clairvoyance. At 7th level, Divination and Banishment. At 9th level, Commune and Gaish. Channel Divinity, Twist of Fate, 3rd level. You can use your Channel Divinity to momentarily seize the threads of destiny. When any creature within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll, check, or save, you can use your reaction to force them to re-roll and take either result your choice. Threads of Fate, 3rd level. As an action, you can mark a creature within 30 feet with a Thread of Fate for 1 minute. You can choose one of 2 effects. Thread of Fortune. When the creature makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can roll 1d4 and add it to their roll. Thread of Doom. When the creature makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can roll 1d4 and subtract it from their roll. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier, regaining all uses on a long rest. Glimpse Beyond, 6th level. You can see a heartbeat into the future. You gain a +2 bonus to initiative, and you can't be surprised. Additionally, as a reaction, when an ally within 30 feet is hit by an attack, you can give them a flash of foresight, granting +2 AC against that attack, possibly causing it to miss. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier. Threads Unravel, 17th level. You can cut or weave fate directly. As an action, choose up to 3 creatures you can see within 60 feet. For each, choose Boon or Bane. Boon, the creature gains advantage on all rolls until the start of your next turn. Bane, the creature's disadvantage on all rolls until the start of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest. Rogue, Fate Breaker. They are gamblers of time who always strike at the designated moment. Defy Destiny, 3rd level. You can twist fate itself to your advantage. You gain a pool of fate dice, a number of d6 equal to your proficiency bonus. Whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can expend one fate die to roll it and add it to the result. You can also spend a fate die to subtract from another creature's roll that you can see within 30 feet as a reaction. You regain all expended fate dice when you finish a short or long rest. Fortune's Favours, 3rd level. Your meddling with fate lets you sense when luck turns against you. Once per turn, when you miss an attack or fail a dexterity saving throw, you can immediately re-roll it, but you must use a new result. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, minimum once, regaining all uses on a long rest. Thread Step, 9th level. You slip between the strands of fate to appear where you're meant to be. When you move on your turn, you can teleport up to 20 feet into an unoccupied space you can see. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. Additionally, when you use your cunning action to dash, you instead can step through fate, teleporting up to your walking speed as shimmering strands of probability wrap around you. Cheat Death, 13th level. When you're reduced to 0 hit points, you can twist the weave of fate to avoid death. You drop to 1 roll of a fate die instead, and for 1 minute you can't be reduced below 1 hit point. After this minute ends, you gain 1 level of exhaustion as fate reclaims its due. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Rewrite the Moment, 17th level. You have learned to tear a hole in destiny itself. As a reaction, when you or a creature you see within 30 feet makes an attack roll, saving throw, and ability check, you can freeze time for an instant and redo the event. They immediately re-roll, and you choose which roll stands, the original or the new one. Once you use this feature, you can't do so until you finish your short or long rest. I hope this video has inspired you for some character ideas. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below.